And I was like, because it's raining, we'll go back through the woods, which I thought was obviously a clever idea. But then it was dark and raining in the woods and I didn't know how to get out.
Hello and welcome back to Single Sounds. I am Katie Mack, the host and creator of this dating podcast, and I'm in an extra good mood this week as it's my birthday week. So a happy warm welcome from me. This week's character is not shy to say she is looking for a relationship. She is an impressive entrepreneur and is searching for someone ambitious in all aspects of their life. You would be a great match if you are also into health and fitness, and she has a special talent of exercising even when horrendously hungover. So no excuses, but you can eat plenty of bread together afterwards. Okay, hi, welcome to Single Sounds.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. Happy you're here. So let's dive into your profile. Who, what, where. So who are you sexually attracted to?
Men.
Awesome. And what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a relationship.
Okay, nice. Straight in there.
Yeah.
Any height, age preferences?
Hi, I'm fairly flexible. I'm only 5'5".
Okay.
But generally taller guys. Age, I'm 32. I think above that, really.
Love it. Nice and succinct. And how about where would you like to date?
London. I live southeast London, but yeah, anywhere in London, really.
Not picky about those tube lines or...
I mean, no, London Bridge and Victoria are good. Well
Nice and easy.
connected. Yeah, but I mean, you can't be too picky about location, I think.
No, it's easy to get pretty much everywhere in London.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. Cool. What are your two truths and a lie?
So I have a tattoo of a feather on my back from a tattoo convention in Vegas.
Okay.
I started my own business in lockdown.
Nice.
And, I've lived in 3 countries in the last 3 years.
Okay.
You're like, that's the lie because you forgot it.
No, I don't think so. I think it's easy to forget the truths because I think the lie's the easier one to remember because you've thought of it and you've been like focusing on it. Yeah. And you're always trying to not say it like weirdly.
Yeah.
like as most natural as possible. Like, oh yeah, I have a feather. Oh, tattoo. I don't know. Don't know if that one's the lie. That was quite specific. But yeah, I don't see any other tattoos. I was having a look at your wrists.
Does she look tattooed?
But so many of my friends just have one, so I don't know. It's like impossible to tell.
I know.
What was the second one?
So lived in 3 countries in the last 3 years.
That was the last one, yeah.
Got a feather tattoo at a Vegas tattoo convention and started my own business in lockdown.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that one didn't strike me as the lie. I thought I could see that.
She looks like a businesswoman.
Yeah, I feel like also with your age, knowing you're 32, I feel like that's something you'd feel confident doing. If you were 22, it might have been like, unless it was like some TikTok business.
Maybe.
I'm going to go the feather's the lie.
It is the lie.
Yes.
I do have a feather tattoo. I just didn't get it done. It's like nearly true.
Okay, yeah.
I met the tattooist in Vegas and he was doing a tattoo convention. But then he was from London and I got it in London.
Okay.
Nearly true.
Nearly true. Yeah, I see. So that was going off you being brave enough to get it in Vegas.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's the business? I really want to know now.
The business is called Lofty Box, although it's on pause at the minute. And I started it with one of my best friends like 2 years ago. And it's all about sustainable products and it's a wellness subscription box. So it would be like short dated stock. So, you know, like Odd Box with wonky veg.
Yeah.
But it would be more product based. So like moisturizers and like drinks, things that are in packages.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's really cool. And I quit my job to do it and
Amazing.
did it full time. Yeah.
So why is it on pause at the moment?
Because we tried to raise investment and then it was really bad timing because of
everything that's going on.
Yeah. So and she's gone back to work, but we both like fully went for it. And I did similarly to you. I dropped a day at work and then ultimately did it.
You're my inspiration.
Although maybe not, because now I've gone back to the top.
Did you go back?
Yeah, so I've gone back. But like we were trying to raise investment, like in the room with all these VCs, applied to Dragon's Den, had an office.
Oh, amazing!
In Clapham Junction, had an employee. So like,
wow,
went quite far with it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I've always been told like a lot of people have said, oh, don't worry about quitting your job for a little bit because when you come back, you're just that much more employable. Like you haven't lost employability factor because you would learn so much doing, like hiring an employee and getting an office and all that stuff is just so impressive.
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, no one can take away what you did previously.
Yeah.
You still have all that.
You still have the experience.
Yeah. So, but yeah, my experience is people love it. It's like another interesting thing on your CV, isn't it?
Yeah, and something to talk about in interviews as well. Like, oh, I tried this.
A dating podcast.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some. Not sure every company would be thrilled about that, but I think there's more things around it, isn't it? Like even scheduling interviews, something as basic as that is showing organization.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you can use it. It's like interviews 101, like how much can you drain out of one experience? Like collaboration. So funny. So what is your worst dating story?
So entirely my fault, but I decided that for a first date I was going to go and take my dog for a walk in the park with this guy.
Oh, I think that's a nice first date. Do you not?
I mean, it was, yeah, in principle was going to be nice. Like the idea was there. So we went to the woods near my house. Mm-hmm. And it was the day that the clocks changed.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know the woods that well. And he was wearing white trainers, which was his fault.
Yeah,
and it was
for a dog walk, that's silly, yeah.
Yeah. But so we like walked around the woods and like had a nice time. And he was really nice. And then like went out the other side and went to the park. And then it started really raining and getting dark. And I was no. Because it's raining, we'll go back through the woods, which I thought was obviously a clever idea. But then it was dark and raining in the woods and I didn't know how to get out. Oh, no. He was wearing white trainers and obviously we had the dog and we were just stuck in the woods in the dark and it was like pitch dark. Oh. And it was my like local area, so it was my responsibility to get us out. And then ultimately we found some sort of exit that had a fence the same height as me. So I had to like climb over this fence.
Oh my gosh.
And then he handed me the dog and then he had to climb over it and he was wearing quite tight jeans. And we were just muddy and it was just, yeah. I mean, he was nice. I was nice.
Yeah.
The date could have been good, but I just didn't nail it.
No.
And then when we came out of the park, we were really far away from my house and had to walk like 5K back. So yeah.
Not great.
Not perfect, but.
Did you, I'm guessing like the phone like maps weren't helpful. It probably just showed you in like a big green blob.
It doesn't even know there's a woods there.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't exist on Google Maps.
So yeah, you just had to really use a compass at that point.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like it's this way. I was like literally saying to my dog, Polly, I was like, do you know the way? Like, where do you live? Like, leave us
just like let her off and see if she like finds it.
Like, no hope. Ask the dog. So yeah.
That's so funny.
We didn't have another date.
Oh. Do you genuinely think that was because of the circumstances?
No, I actually think he thought that was fine.
Yeah.
But you have to have a lot of chat. Like,
yeah, on that much walk.
I was like
you
running out of
it.
things to say. I was like, we've been together for 4 hours and we're in a dark wood. What more can I say?
Yeah, I guess actually that was a really good test of if it was your person. Because the right person for you probably would have been able to fill that time with like really good conversation, or at least like funny comments about how you're just going to be lost in the woods forever.
And also like how they deal with stress.
Yeah. So his white trainers was like clearly a pain point for him.
Yeah. Are you relaxed?
No.
Yeah, I am not having fun.
Bringing up the trainers every 5 seconds. Yeah. Okay. And what are you weirdly attracted to?
Forearms and hands. Like I like a nice forearm with a nice swatch.
Interesting. I've had hands quite a lot, which is, yeah. I'm still shocked at how many people say hands, but forearms I have not had.
Yeah.
What is it about the forearms?
I guess it like if they've got a strong forearm, that's nice.
Like a line down the it's not really the middle, is it? It's kind of the side.
Yeah. Maybe it's a bit cliche, but people say you can say a lot like about someone from their hands.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently it is like loads of people have said hands. Are you also one that likes a hairy forearm?
Oh, no.
No?
I'm not like generally into hair.
Yeah, interesting. Because I've had a few people that said that they like hands when they're hairy.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. No, that's not your vibe.
Strong no.
Some hair or no hair.
Like I wouldn't want them to like wax their hands and arms. Yeah. I'd like them to naturally not be that hairy. Yeah,
that's fair. I was just curious because I do know some guys that do wax, so...
The hands?
Yeah, their forearms.
Ooh.
They're like a bit self-conscious of how hairy they are.
I feel like then you'd get all the stubble.
Yeah, I think that's what they prefer instead of like, I think it's when it's really long.
Okay.
So it's kind of like trimming it because then it grows back slower and thinner, obviously.
Maybe
and less dark.
Laser.
Yeah. But I feel like they don't want no hair. They just want less, which is the waxing. But yeah, I don't know. I need a man on here that waxes to tell me more. Okay. Oh, I love this question. I'm glad you picked it. What is the award you should be nominated for?
Exercising whilst hungover.
Oh, good. Mm-hmm. That's a fun award, I think.
So like, I guess I kind of have the general view that you shouldn't let today ruin tomorrow. So like, I like a drink. I just told you that I tried dry January and I've already failed. I like going out, but I love the day and I love exercising and I love like making the most of it.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, I'm going to that gym class. Like I have thrown up on the way to the gym class. I have gone straight from a party to do a 10K. Like,
wow,
I am doing it. And everyone's like, sometimes you don't need to. Yeah. I'm like, I booked this class.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. So my biggest one, I'm quite good at going as well. Not as good. I think you definitely win. The only reason I think I'm less good is because my cancellation fee is only £3, which is not a lot. Like if you're throwing up, that's you take the hit.
Take it.
Whereas some of the class pass ones are £17.
Yeah.
So I'm going, even if I'm vomiting in the class.
I may not enjoy it. I will be there.
Not only if I pay for the class, I'm not also paying a £17 fee. That is mad. It's like £40 to be hungover. It's like absolutely not.
Yeah, it's like punishment.
Yeah.
I know.
You clearly like really enjoy exercise though. Do you have like a favourite class or something that you do?
So I just signed up to a half marathon actually. So I'm training for that at the minute. So I'm doing lots of running. So I ran to Clapham Common yesterday and then did the park run.
Nice.
Which was a lot.
Yeah. Running to Clapham and then doing the run.
Yeah. I was like, everyone else seems fresher than me because I haven't just run 7K to get here.
Was it a 5K around the park? Yeah. I've heard they're nice, those park runs.
They are really nice. But the one yesterday was mad because it's a really popular one and it was so muddy and everyone was like slipping around.
Cross country.
Honestly, I was like, I don't want to run that fast. Like, I'm going to walk over this mud. But people literally falling over. I was like,
oh no, it's not a race, is it? No. I thought it was just meant to be like
they literally say at the beginning, this is not a race.
Yeah.
please
I thought it was
calmly.
more like a run community thing. Yeah,
it is. But people are like, they take it seriously. Like, bashing you out the way, slipping away.
I've seen them on people's Stravas and I was like, don't think that was the vibe.
Yeah, exactly. PB.
Yeah, exactly. Like park run PB. I'm like, I thought it's not meant to be competitive. But
sorry to everyone that fell over in my path.
Yeah, I think people use it to make friends as well. So that's why I've always got that idea.
I got that idea, but people don't want to be my friend. I tried to talk to someone once in Crystal Palace.
Oh no.
And absolutely nothing. It was my first one. I was like, so how many people have done the race? Like, do you come every week? And he was just like,
oh.
And I was like,
that's so rude.
Okay.
No running friends for me.
Like, no one can come back.
Yeah, that's. Was the Clapham one any more friendly?
I did it with my friends.
So okay.
I took my own friend.
Yeah. BYOF to park runs.
Literally. I'd recommend it.
Because you're not making any new ones.
Yeah.
That's not a great plug for the park runs, is it?
No, maybe it's just
you get muddy, you'll probably fall over. You'll feel extra competitive and you won't make any friends.
Yeah. But I still show up.
Yeah. Do you have to pay? Is it free?
It's free.
Free, yeah. No, it's good.
Yeah, it's really good. And they do them everywhere.
Okay, back to dating. What are your non-negotiables?
So I want them to be ambitious.
Okay.
That's really important to me.
Yeah, I get that vibe from you.
Yeah, just like a get out of bed, proactive. I keep very
Even
busy. Even if hungover.
No excuses. Yeah.
Yeah, just proactive, like lots going on, ambitious in just all areas of life. That sounds really demanding, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
But yeah, I don't find it very attractive when someone like doesn't really care about their job, doesn't really care about like themselves and stuff.
The health or
or like making an effort for friends, those kind of things. Because I think people can be so lazy with things like that as well.
100%, and especially men. No offense, men, but
yeah,
I have dated men that just kind of expect plans to be put there for them, and they don't initiate with friends. And I do find that quite attractive if I'm with someone who does plan, not always with me as in a date situation, but just with their external friends as well. Like, even if it's just something silly, like organizing them to come over and play on the Xbox. Like,
yeah, but it's taking the initiative.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And it's still prioritizing people, which is important.
And then confidence and like good chat.
Yeah.
Maybe really basic, but like obviously I'm chatty and like happy to have a conversation with anyone. But I think if the person that I'm with doesn't have a similar level, like I can hold the fort a bit too much. And then like they're like, oh, you go, just send off like me to do all the chatting, and they just like happily sit in the background. I'm like, no, come on, we're both here.
Last question. What is the best advice anyone's ever given you?
So my housemate said this to me, and it's that ultimately you need to be able to have a conversation for like an indefinite amount of time with the person that you're with, because like, you know, you can go on great dates and holidays, and you can, you know, live together and have a good social life and keep yourself busy. But there's going to be some times where like you're on a delayed flight or something and you're sitting with just that person for 12 hours. And if you can't chat to them, then it's not great.
No, it's not going to work.
It sounds really obvious, but like, I think sometimes in current life, there's so many things like buzzing around, isn't there? That you kind of forget that actually, you know, if you went camping with them or something.
Yeah, would you actually have a nice time?
Yeah.
Where there's like no external distractions. And this is what's come up on the podcast. And I've never thought about it before. And I think it's so interesting that activity dates actually could be a distraction. If you're an introvert, it's so easy to use an activity to help you, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But I do understand that it can just then again not prove you're compatible, a bit like when you chat too much, because you're talking about everything that's happening around you and you're not even getting to know the person. So like you said, then when you're stuck in a waiting room with them, are you actually going to have anything to say? And is that something you want to find out earlier rather than later? Probably. But I think we're really good at like filling the initial dates with really fun things and activities. And that's probably maybe a downfall. I don't know.
If you go and do something fun, you're like, did I have fun because we did something fun?
Exactly. Like, did I just have a nice time because it's a fun activity that I haven't done before?
Yeah.
It's like your dog walk in the woods. That proved perfectly that you weren't compatible and from a conversation level, because you were like, after 4 hours, you kind of run out of things to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. I know I don't like activity dates. I'm definitely here for just like going for a walk or a coffee or a drink.
Okay, let's find out what a friend said about you. Why someone should date you.
5 reasons you might not want to date my best mate. 1. She'll book you into a weekend park run, take you out the night before, convince you not to hold back on the tequilas, everything will be fine, and then end up completely smoking you the next day with her ridiculous athletic prowess. Number 2. You will never, I repeat never, win a pub quiz. That music round gets her every time. No amount of festivals, gigs, or trips to Ibiza have been able to save her. 3. You will always be playing second fiddle to Bread. Bread is her first love, no questions asked. 4. Her sense of direction or lack thereof could set you back a cheeky hour or two with any life plans. You'd need to adjust your schedule accordingly. 5. If you're a cat person, it's never going to work. Her pup is life. Enough said. But obviously, if you can get past all of that, and I guess it will be tough, you'd have the absolute privilege of dating the most beautiful, intelligent, hello, high-flying marketing lawyer, ridiculously fun, got to watch out for those late-night drunken travel bookings to Dubai, Ibiza and Bali, to name a few, fitness-loving, extrovert that will dazzle you and keep you on your toes with her hilarious chat.
Oh, that was so nice to sum it up.
Bless her. So nice. And I feel like she's nailed it, hasn't she?
Literally everything. She started with the fitness. The one thing that didn't was bread.
Oh God, yeah. I love bread. Anything. That was too much. I could eat bread day in.
That's so funny. Do you have it like, is that just warm bread with butter, or is that like having bread with everything?
Any bread. Like, just I love going to the like local coffee shop and getting a stupidly expensive loaf of whatever. Like, charge me £8, I'll enjoy it. And then with butter, with peanut butter, dipped in anything. Sometimes I just eat toast for dinner.
Nice.
Love it.
I've definitely done that.
It's so good.
And I love how it's like now a breakfast thing. Like, you can just have bread for breakfast, and that's so normal.
Yeah. And anything on it. Like today I had peanut butter, banana, blueberries on toast.
Oh, nice.
And cinnamon.
Yeah.
Delicious.
She's also got in your sense of direction.
Yeah. So the wood story kind of attests to that. But I very often am on Google Maps and just walk in the opposite direction. And I'm like, it's weird that I'm not going the same way as the directions are. And she's like, yeah, that's literally what you're doing. Not going in the same way as the directions. So don't do that.
Turn around.
Yeah, turn around. So,
although in your defense, sometimes the little arrow does get lost when you start walking straight away. And then you're like, you think the arrow says that way, but then it decides it's wrong. Like, when you're 2 blocks away and you're like,
time,
oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Never winning a pub quiz.
Oh God, yeah.
Is that something you do? Like, do you like pub quizzes or?
I think I want to like pub quizzes, but the fact I'm so bad at them makes them less enjoyable.
Final section, this or that. So you get 2 options. You just go with whatever you fancy.
Okay.
Are you decisive?
I am decisive, but now I've said that, am I going to be? It's what I would say. That's one of like a strong thing about me is being decisive.
Would you rather be transported permanently 500 years into the future or 500 years into the past?
The past.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, because I think, well, I suppose the future's unknown, so we don't know what's going to happen.
True.
It might be awful. And like we learn a lot about the past and it would be nice to experience it.
Always be cold or always have slow internet?
I'd always be cold.
Yeah?
Which makes me sound a bit like too connected to devices, doesn't it? But it's really irritating when the internet doesn't work properly, isn't it?
I guess it really depends how slow. Are we talking like it takes 5 minutes to load Google?
Yeah.
That would drive me insane.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that I'm not that cold. Like if I was a little bit cold, I think I could deal with it. But if it was like you're freezing cold all the time, that would be horrible.
Would you rather eat in a restaurant you usually go to or go to a new restaurant that just opened?
Oh, I actually think about this quite a lot because I want to be the person that likes trying new things. But do I like going somewhere and knowing it's going to be good? Yes.
Yeah. It's a hard one.
I think I probably would like to try somewhere new.
Yeah.
But I'd be sad if it wasn't good.
Yeah. That's the toss-up, isn't it?
Yeah.
I do get, sometimes I just really want one dish from somewhere.
Yeah.
And then if I go somewhere and it doesn't have that thing or that cuisine, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think you have to like get your mindset right, don't you? Because if you're like, I'm really craving this like pasta from there, and then you're like, I hope this new place does something similar, you're like gonna be disappointed.
I do love going to new places though. I have like such a thing of, especially in London, I feel like I want, if someone says, oh, have you been here? I want to say yes.
Yeah.
Like it's really weird. I want to be like, yeah, I've been everywhere.
Well, it's like a thing in London, I think.
Yeah.
To like know the new restaurants.
I agree. Everyone takes a lot of pride in it, don't they?
Yeah. And like have your list, and like my friends have the maps, you know, like if you're in an area, they're like, oh, I know a good restaurant around the corner.
Yeah, I know friends that like pin it in Google Maps as well and like set up their own. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. So organized. Or like when you have all the bookings, like I have friends that have got bookings in for each month, and then when it comes they're like, does someone want to go here, because you know it's so hard to get into them. Or they're like, very organized.
This is why I can't get places at nice things, because like people like that have just booked them up provisionally just in case they can find a friend to go with them.
Exactly.
That is so organized. Okay, would you rather genuinely and unironically love every movie you see or every song you hear?
Movie.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'd choose the same. I'm more of a movie person. I guess music with you.
Yeah, like we've talked about music. But I also think it would be a lot. Like you hear so much music, and if you really loved it all, you might be overwhelmed every day.
That's so true.
The enjoyment you're having. Whereas a movie, you're like sitting down to watch it on purpose. And you're like, this is going to be great. But if you literally loved every song, you might be a bit of a weird person.
It's so true actually. Like even if you're just at like a casual pub and like the background music, everyone, you're like, I love this song. It would be a bit embarrassing. Whereas you're right, I feel like the only time the movie would be embarrassing is if you went, I don't know, to the cinema and everyone was like, that was terrible, and you were like, I loved it.
Or if it was like really dark and you were like, I loved it so much. And we're like, ooh. Did you?
But then I guess you'd just be known as the person who likes every movie.
Yeah.
So they probably just would not bother asking after a while.
Yeah.
But it would be so nice to know every time you turned on the TV, like to watch a movie and like chill out, you're going to really enjoy it. That would be a really good superpower, I think.
Yeah, they'd both be so nice. Like having something that
You're just
always
happy.
makes you happy.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay, final one. Would you rather live in a house that is beautiful on the outside but plain on the inside, or the other way around? So it's beautiful on the inside but plain on the outside.
The second one.
So yeah, plain on the outside, beautiful on the inside.
Yeah. Because you spend all your time in your house, not sitting
Not
outside.
looking at it, yeah. No, I agree.
But it's because there's one that's like, would you rather live in a castle and look at
Oh yeah,
like rubble or something,
Yeah.
or like live in rubble? That's not quite right, is it? And look at a castle. Like, do you want the nice view or do you want it around you?
yeah. I think it's like live in a shack or something and
Yeah.
look at the castle or whatever.
Yeah, rubble.
But yeah, I'd rather live in the castle and look at the rubble shack.
Yeah, I feel like surely most people would.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take the castle.
Yeah. Because it's all well and good, even like, I don't even know what benefit you'd have for just a nice looking house on the outside, because people would go and be like, wow. And then they'd be disappointed. Whereas I'd rather the other way around. They'd be like, ew. And then come in and be like, oh, wow, this is actually really nice.
You'd have to never let them in. You can be like, you just come and look at my house.
Stand in the drive or something. It's
Never
like
let you even
stately
look
home, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that concludes the podcast.
Cool.
Do you have any final words you want to say?
I don't think so.
No?
Just thanks.
If you think you could be compatible with this character and would like to go on a date with them, or know someone else who would be a great match, please contact the podcast on Instagram @SingleSounds. The link is in the show notes. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next Tuesday.